All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's Rob. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. Let's go ahead and make sure you all can hear me. If you would please go ahead and type the number 1 in the question chat box to let me know that you can. I would greatly appreciate it. All right. Fantastic. Welcome, welcome, everyone. Sarah, good afternoon. Kevin, how are you, sir? Hey, Brenda, Fabrice, good morning. Amos, good to see you, sir. I am fantastic. Amos, did you get my message? I replied back. Mouth is doing great today, PK. Yesterday was a bad day. Today, much better. For those of you that don't know, on Friday, I had wisdom tooth removed. Knockout gas is awesome. That's all I could say. Absolutely phenomenal. Hey, how'd you guys do today? Put in your numbers. Let's see. I'm going to show you what we did. Let me know how you did. Drop in your trades. Guys, try. I appreciate you guys jumping in and giving me the ones. Those of you that are using the Q&A, I don't check it, so be careful. I did open it up because I saw something in there, but I use the chat box, so if you wouldn't mind doing that, that would be fantastic. Keeping in mind that every candidate that we look at today is all for educational purposes only. I'm going to reorganize my desktop a little bit here. Just depends what I'm teaching or trading determines where the keyboard's at. All right, man, we got a packed house here today. I hope we got enough seats. Very good. All right, let me get that going there. Start the video. Go to the videotape. Now all you see is my back. All right, there we go. Sorry, need my music on. Gotta have some musica. You can go grab the drawing tools and get that set up. So we got them in place. Awesome. All right. Yeah, wisdom teeth removed at my age. Fantastic that I still have them. Most people get them out decades ago. I only had one out before Friday. And the only reason that one came out is it was starting to give me a little bit of problem, or else, I mean, if it was okay, I wasn't worried about it. Oh, let me lower that. There we go. Trying to make everything distraction free here. All right, how did we do? So Tom said, just exited Zillow, put trade for a total of $3,949 and a 33% rate of return. That is awesome, Tom. Congrats, my friend. And Tom caught $1,100 on the NQ drop today. Beautiful. Oh, that is great. Okay, no worries, Amy. It's perfect. That's perfect. Robert S., $1,685 on American Express, Netflix, Pepsi, TRV, and Caterpillar. Amos said 16% on Amazon. I did an Amazon this morning as well. Amos, I'll share that in a little bit. In 10 minutes, there you go. Jim said trading SPY today, it shows I netted $475 profits and fees. Okay. Michael said, oh, hey, Voodoo. Hey, man, good to see you. Is the YouTube vid better to watch, or that one is delayed? So if you're on, Voodoo, Michael, if you have the option to come into Zoom, I use the same software that we use for Benzenga, which is a company called StreamYard. There is a 7 or 8 second, as much as 15 seconds I've seen when I use it on Benzenga, delay in there. With Zoom, you only have 2 or 3 seconds. So it's a little bit quicker response here than it is on YouTube. But hey, if that's the way to access it, no worries, you'll get it. It'll just be a few seconds behind. Tom said in a long position on CZR, day trade only and a target of 93.5. All right. Robert S. said day trade out of all by 11. They were all day trades out by 11:30. Very nice. Yeah, a lot of kudos coming at you there, Tom. Amos is throwing them in there, and many others. Jim. Hey, Michael. Let's see. Paula said, place the bull put spread on LLY 180, 165, filled at 535. Was at 180.35 now. 185.35. Lost 2.25. Why did I lose when underlying went up? Yeah, there's a lot to that, Paul, right? So the very first thing, and I don't know if you meant to write 180.85 versus 180.65, but when you are dealing with an option, if that option was overvalued in price, it could very well be the market maker just sucked premium out of it, even though the position went in your direction. Yeah, so Marius, we don't have, there's no access to the content here, the questions here in Zoom. We don't have that, only on YouTube. You got it, Paul. Excellent. All right. Well, I'll share mine with you in just a little bit, guys. So we got Mastering the Trade coming up tonight. Those of you that are in power option plays tonight, you will be registered automatically. Amelia's getting it done as we speak. You're getting registered into the Mastering the Trade. We've got some kick-ass stuff planned for this evening. I am excited about it. Trading You coming up on May 10th, Patterns in a Flash on the 12th, Inner Circle on the 19th, and then Monster Market Moves. We just did one last week, which was great. Mastermind coming up then on Tuesday night, tomorrow night. Power Hour, and make sure you register for Coach's Corner, guys. That is one every week. We take a turn. It's either Ryan Litchfield, Brandon Wendell, or Tony Benson. They're in there teaching the best of what they do, similar to what we do in a Power Hour, except you don't have my pretty face to look at. Power Option Plays, Cover Call, Explorer, and E-mini Think Tank are all on schedule this week, regularly scheduled program. All right. By the way, Ryan's Coach's Corner last Friday was great. He's just amazing, Jim. I don't know what else to say. Blows me away. All right. Here's our followers page. Make sure you are. Right. Make sure you are following us. I've got another podcast is getting up there today, or Sean's putting it up today. So maybe this afternoon, tomorrow, it'll be available for download. And then I've got 2 more that I'm recording today as well. So everything's going great with that. I'll tell you why. No, the Mastering the Trade, Tom, is only if you're in power option plays. Do we record Coach's Corner? Yes, we record them. Yep. We record them from here on Zoom. Absolutely do. All right, here's a trade from today, guys. Here is one that Amelia did. This is from it's Trade of a Day from our Trade Watch Alerts service that we offer. This is one that she's recently added. We call it Catch a Spy. She calls it Catch a Spy, although this one was on the Qs. So Catch a Qs, I guess. I don't know. But she did 13 contracts, $2.27. She got in at $9.44, got out at $9.48. So you got 27 to 42, 15 cents. So $150 plus 15 more, $185 in about 6 minutes, guys. Is that right? 4 minutes. In about 4 minutes, 6.5% rate of return. Very nice. Very nice. Henry, it all depends the Coach's Corner should always be up on Wealth Builders HQ TV. It'll be on YouTube if we are running it through StreamYard. Last week, Sean was on vacation, so we didn't run the YouTube version of the classes last week. We only did them here. Here meaning on Zoom. All right. So great little trade there, guys. Another one from today. Let me just move some things around here. Here, guys, I want you to look at Amazon. Rob, I can't afford Amazon. Man, you're crazy. I can't. Yeah. Okay. Let me share it with you, all right? So Amazon, what happened? Crush right out of the open. We get a gap up, a little here, kitty, and we just fall apart. We pull down and we come and we nail 2 times, 1, 2, this 34, 41, 42 level, which is a critical Fibonacci level on Amazon. As you will see now, okay, 34, 41, 42, right here, this level, okay? So we hit that level 2 times in the morning. I did not take the trade in here. It was a little too aggressive for me how quick it moved up and started to pull back, so I kept away from it. Would it have been a nice trade? Absolutely. Was I trying to take this bounce? Nope. I didn't want the bounce either off the 34.41. I just thought that this first candle had a lot to say about it. We made our move back up and we stalled 1, 2, 3, 4 candles in there, right? Let's do it this way. If we come here and just kind of right there, right? Stalled right in there. And then we failed. As we pulled back under the moving average right in here, and I'll put an arrow at the candle, right in that down candle there, which was at, it's part of the 1040 candle, right? Which is the closing time of the candle on TradeStation. Exactly, mini pressure cooker, PK. That's exactly what I was thinking when I saw it. We bumped our head on ugly over and over and over, and a fourth time. And the next candle, we opened again in between the 8 and 21, and we started to push down. And that was go back to a 1 minute candle then on my 4-pack, and I'm watching what it's doing there, and I'm watching the collapse and it start to take off. So right at that point, I bought the put option. What did I do? 34.60 put, right? 34.60 put. My stop was somewhere up above these tops in here. Right, thinking, all right, if we come back up into the pressure cooker zone and fail again, I'm okay. But if it breaks above, I probably don't want to be there any longer. And within that candle is the entry, 2, 3, 4 candles, I was out of the trade completely on the 4th candle, which was right there. Right, so I didn't even get a chance to figure out the numbers on the trade. Right, as you look at it, what did we do though? So let me get a calculator. It'll be easier. By the way, Roman, you in here today? I'm just scrolling through. Roman, did you take? Yes. Did you take this trade or any of the trades on Amazon today? How'd you make out? Roman said he did. And I'm asking Roman specifically because he looks to trade this thing every single day, as he knows that I look to. All right, so I'll let him answer that. So where did my calculator go? It didn't open. Come on, where's the calculator? Let's try it. There you go here. Okay, that's more better. So 45.10 was the entry price. And I'm going to just do subtract here, the opposite direction here, but 54.8. So it was $9.70. So call it $10 out of $45. It was what, 20%, 21% or so? Right. So Rowan said it bounced off the fib line and it ran to a pivot line, which was 34.75. Okay. Amos said took the bullish trade off of the fib line to the pivot point as well. Amos and Roman trade together in our trading room, which is for our inner circle group, where we open up a room for them 3 days a week to get in there to trade together. So pretty awesome. Good. So guys, I mean, nice little move. And I pulled the trigger. I'm like, all right, I'm done. That's it. I walked away and then I watched it collapse. Right? So I would have more than doubled on it. Actually, Delta picked up nicely, but would have more than doubled on it. Right now, the 34.60s. All right, we're on Amazon. I can't see it. I need more. 34.60s are about $71, somewhere in there. All right, we got out at 54, 55. So another $15 move. So more than double what we had picked up on it. I'm not complaining. It was a great trade for the amount of time that we were in the trade. But to let you know, I like your trade better. Okay. Well, that's good. Listen, Amos, it worked, right? It worked. And we had the 34, 41, 42 level, or I knew it was there. I mean, we looked to that line almost daily, it seems lately, on Amazon, right? So, you know, we talk about trading the markets where we are now, guys. We look at the highs, which was kind of the email we sent out this morning, right? $SPX. Been a great day so far today. All right, so we're running around this 4181, 4191, 4200 level. We are just playing inside of there. If we can get the close up above that 4191 today, will be powerful, because we had it last Thursday and it gave it all back on Friday. So I don't even care if it pulls back to where it is now. We're only up 16, 17 points right now. If we can hold at this point before, you know, getting some breath and some our sea legs back and get some strength going again, it'll be great. I don't think we're there for a collapse at this point. I think there's, what do we got now? 40% of all S&P companies have announced earnings at this point. I don't know, my tracking sheet here, it's inside. We only have, I think, eight of our 20 candidates, and only 19 of them actually have earnings, but 8 out of the 20 actually have earnings still set to come out. So, but when you're looking at these levels, guys, you've got to be cautious. Focus on the S&P. Focus on your individual equity. Excuse me. Focus on the individual equity, whether it's Amazon or whether it is Carnival Cruise Lines or American Airlines or Ford or whoever it is. Make sure you focus on the pattern inside of that individual equity, and make sure that you have an answer of what's going on in the market. And here's the wrong answer. All right? Here's the wrong answer. And this is what drove me nuts as a newer trader about brokers, right? Who knew nothing about the market. I mean, the market, the internet had just kicked in, right? When I started back in the late 90s, 97, the internet is starting to get popular. You couldn't even get a brokerage account that you could go for the most part and check all day long, or even keep open all day long to see what was going on in your account. I remember the one account I opened, it was Wall Street Access was the name of it. You could hit enter, it would go into the account, it would log in, it would immediately log you off with a snapshot of what was going on in your portfolio. That was awesome that you could do that, because too many of them you would try to log in and they couldn't. They were busy, they didn't have enough sockets and whatever. Sockets, wrenches, whatever they're called, right? They didn't have enough way to get people in there, enough people online at once. And brokers back then, when you would say, how's the market doing? Well, we're up 1770 right now. That's not what I mean with how is the market doing. Being up is great, but go back and analyze what's happening in the market. And if it means, you know, position number one in your chair, that's fine. But do it from a standpoint that you can tell me intelligently what's going on in the market. Because if your answer is we're up 10, we're down 20, and that's all you got, you are not at a place to step to that next level to become a great trader. And what I mean by that, and I don't mean in a negative way, some of your brand's spanking new and you are just learning how to do some of these things. Others of you are at a point of, wow, I've been doing this a long time. I'm not seeing the levels I want. And I've had so many people from Benzinga follow us that have come over here to watch what we're doing and are blown away. I mean, I won't tell you who it was, but I got a phone call from someone from Benzinga today saying, you mentioned something on the show a couple of weeks ago, and I want to be able to take a chunk of money, and I want to be able to put it away and use that money to pay for a car every month, my car payment. What were you talking about in it, right? There are strategies you can do regardless of what you're trying to accomplish in the market, right? What you're trying to do with that money, whether you're saving for a house, whether you're saving for retirement, whether you are just trying to pay for your car. But you've got to be able to look at the market and have an answer for it. I can lay the whole strategy out for you. I can teach you every nuance about it. If you can't read that chart that's on the screen there, it really doesn't make a difference. So when I look at the chart, I go back here and I see, all right, from where we hit on the fibs, right here, we had that little doji candle right there where we fell, right? Off of. And that was where we drew our Fibonacci's to that V top in there, right? Then 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, we bump our heads on this 4181 fib line. And then from there, we are pinned, and that's the phraseology, pinned between the 4181 and the 4191, the blue line. We chug along. Wednesday, we're fine. We burst above a little bit higher than before. We put in an all-time high on Wednesday. And then Thursday, boom, we gap up. We run to a new all-time high. We have a new closing high, but not before. We gave it all back during the day and came back. The market's getting excited, man, we're taking off tomorrow, and we gap back down on Friday. And we stay, but for the most part, between the 41.81 and the 41.91 level. Today we gapped up above it, but we've got a 4,200 level in there. And you may look at that and say, yeah, but Rob, there's just too many lines in there. Okay, there are too many lines. I give you that. Watch, I'm going to stretch it so it's a little bit easier to see. There are too many lines, but the lines have value to them. So you can slice it any way you want. You've got to be able to sit back and see what's going on from a bigger picture and not be so focused here on just today's candle that you get lost in the mix. If you can get really good at this, then you have a phenomenal shot of becoming a great trader. But if you can only focus on the far right of the screen, what's happening right now, it's going to take some work. We can help get you there, but it's definitely going to take some work to help move you in the process of where you want to be. Let's see. All right. So Marius said, where do we start learning options with you, Rob, as a beginner? The place to go, Marius, as a beginner is what's called Trading You. Okay. Let me do this. Trading You, in my opinion, is every one of you belong forever. It doesn't end because we do continuous trainings inside of here, right? But Trading You, you can get in for monthly at $99. That's going up shortly, but $99 for the month, right? To get in there. And we go in. Actually, it's better if I do it here. Watch. This is why it is so powerful. I know there are others that teach basic stock market education, and that's fine. You can get it any way you want. For me, we've got the foundational videos. There are 21 of them. This is 3 full days of training. The manuals to match each one of the videos, which are all downloadable. Right? There are some bonuses that we used in the training, like my trading plan, some homework that I had you do, a trading journal, and so forth, right? Reading list. And then current training is the last live training that we did, which was intraday patterns. Tony taught that one, right? And then on top of that, we've got every month, there are 2 live trainings that we do. Here are a bunch of the live trainings in there on technical analysis. Here's the ones we've done on patterns. Here's ones that are on mindset. These are some miscellaneous ones. Here are some essential skills, right? Hey, if you go up, trade setups. I missed that one. There's a lot of them in there, right? Wheel of Fortune, killer strategy. My 821 setup, absolutely awesome, right? Day Trading 101, mastering the channel, known news gaps, how to trade the gap from news, which usually is earnings, covered calls, more earnings, trading diagonally, right, which are diagonal spreads, cash secured puts. This is the place to be, Marius. So this is where you would want to start off in Trading You. But the 2 live trainings you do every month are just that. It's a place that we are live, what's going on in the market now. We give you some candidates to look at as well as potential trade setups. And we're able to answer all the questions in there as well. Let's see. Fabrice, what text are you talking about in the Trade Watch alerts? Yeah, I mean, we don't put every trade out there, but if that's what you mean, but we pick 3 high quality trades that go out in there. That trade set up on Amazon that I did, if that's the one you're referring to, that sets up every day. I don't know where that's coming in until I see it happening. Your trade had more things going in your favor. Okay, Amos was talking about the Amazon trade. Wow, Daytech Online, Michael. Interesting. Jim said bandwidth, I think, maybe, Jim. Yep. All right. Amy dropped in the link to the Trading You guys. What is 821 setup? It's Raj, that's the 821 moving average cross, the way that I trade it, which comes, guys, this comes from just 100,000+ trades. If I did 100,000 trading days to a strategy, that would be pretty interesting, wouldn't it? If I could go back and back test 100,000 days, it would. But I would never do something that's crazy to do 100,000 days. I would never do something that small. My moving average cross setup is 4.5 million days of back test. That's what I teach in there. Not the back test, but how to trade using my system. Fabrice, if you're interested in one-on-one training, what you want to do is send an email to support. Amy, I think you're in here with us today, right? Yep, you are. Amy, can you drop the support email address in there, please? Send an email to support, and one of my team will get back with you to talk to you about what your options are. Yes, Michael, the American Express trade that I talked about in the Trade with Rob is an options trade, correct? Based on the stock price, yep. Yes, Raj, 8 crossing the 21, it's exactly what it is. But there are ways of trading it beyond just the cross. I don't just want to trade the cross. I'm looking for a very specific pattern inside of there. Jim said S&P 500, 429 candle. I think hammer. What does this candle tell us? The traders are thinking what? So 429. Yeah, so it's more of a hanging man, right? Hammer happens at support. Hangman happens at resistance, right? So think of the connotation, right? And we'll look what happened the next day. So it is the same candle, Jim, exact same candle. It's location, location, location. If this happened at a support level, major, not just any random level of, oh yeah, we were there 14 years ago and we're there today now. If you're at a major support level, and that's where you throw that hammer, that is where it is telling you it's hammering out a base. For here, we're looking at it as a hangman pattern. Oh, okay, didn't want to do that. All right. So Michael said you use the weekly. Oh yeah. Michael, I do everything I can on weeklies. You know, Amazon today was a weekly trade. If I'm in and out today, here's the rule. If I'm in and out of a trade the same day, it's a weekly option. If I'm in and out of that trade and it's going to be more than a day, that is going to be a much longer term than, you know, just this week. And I have traded options, weekly options that expire on a Friday. I've entered a trade, meaning buy to open at 3:51, 3:50, we'll call it, p.m. for an option that expires today. That's the closest I have pushed the envelope to getting to the end of day. Now, I would not do that unless you've got a great internet connection, because if you hiccup with your internet for just 2 minutes, you could be devastated with what could happen to you numbers-wise. I've done that from home. I did it on the road one time when I was teaching, barely got out about a minute before the market closed, and it wasn't a pretty sight when it was all said and done, all because of horrible internet connection in the hotel we were at, that we were teaching from. All right. Fantastic. All right. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's go take a look. Actually, let's go look at some of your candidates right now. Drop them in. What do you want to see? Talk to me. Tell me what you want me to look at. Put them on in. You are welcome, Michael. Big airplane. You got it, Henry. All right. So, Henry, look at it again. I'm going to pull it in a little bit, and we're going to move the mouse, get that out of the way, whoo, like a roller coaster. Going to sit back, Henry, right? And look at this. The very first thing I see is I keep hitting the same bottom, 234.10, 234. We go a little bit below, a little bit above, but we are constantly back at that 234.10. Then I notice that we have lower highs setting up in here, okay? So if I look at this, we may even have it right off of that. Okay, it's okay. It's not a great descending triangle, but we're talking about $23. So 10% would be $3. 230 would be 10%. 2468, about $9. So we're looking for a drop from here, Henry, to about $9. and I'm close. We're going to leave it right there. Okay, I'm close. Ironically enough, that's about where my target would be if I were targeting that 223 level. So if we do break, that's what we're going to. So when I see this, Henry, and now this is very much a news-based position, right, or trade. There's so much happening right now in Boeing with grounding the airplanes again, more problems with the plane, blah, 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 right? On top of that, they're still trying to recover from COVID. So I don't see anything bullish right now. If we do get the break to the downside, though, Henry, I'm looking at about that 223 as support. So just above there would be our resistance. Fabrice is asking for Starbucks. Hope that helps, Henry. Bigger picture. Oh, okay. So we had a nice fib in here, but that fib is long gone. So let's go grab a new Fibonacci. Swing low right here. Swing high right here. And guys, if you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook and you have questions, drop them in. Amy's watching those. She'll be able to get those questions and we'll get them answered for you. If you have candidates you want to look at, drop them in. All right, so here's our fib. So, all right, here's the things you need to do. You draw the Fibonacci. The very first thing you need to do is look at, do I have a big enough movement on this for a trade? Between my 50 fib and my 618 needs to be at least $1. And that is bare minimum. I want more, but at least bare $1. So we're about $1.50 here. So that's okay. We've got enough room in there. Do we have to add in here what are called fibbits? So if I go to my symbol grid and I take this up to all symbols, and let's just, it doesn't matter, I'll go back to Starbucks. Just let me do that first. So I can get the symbol in there. All right. Well, that was interesting. Where did my Fibonacci go? So let me change that here. Let's try one more time. Back to Starbucks. There it is. Okay. Wow. All right. So a Fibit, what does that mean? Do I need to split these levels in half? So I've got a column called Fibit, and that number in there under RR Fibit is $4.35. Is this distance greater than $4.35? The answer is yes. So I don't need to split it. Okay. So we're good. So I like, let's see, just want to see who, way too far back, Rob. Come on. I'm looking. Oh, there we go. Starbucks. So Fabrice, okay. I like where we are right now, Fabrice. The 8 has a confluence at that 115 half level. I wouldn't be doing anything today. But if we can close here, come back and bounce and close here, somewhere above the 115 half. Come back and retest the 115 half and bounce. There's a potential entry tomorrow with probably about 118 and a quarter. 118 half would be my target of what I'm looking for. So I hope that's helpful. Denise is asking for the Depot, Home Depot. All right, we recently drew a new Fibonacci on Home Depot. All right, now we have to look at a bigger picture on Home Depot. I mean, look at this run. This was just beauty in the making. You know, this was, I know I can, 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 every day. I feel like I was back in 1997, the way Home Depot was going, like there was no way it was ever going to stop, right? I was very happy to see the pullback that took place in there. And now we got to bounce above and a close above the, well, we're above right now, the 328.67, because this is today's candle. Close here. Close here, retest that 328 half level tomorrow, the day after, whatever it is, and give me a bounce. We're looking at about 339 is where my target would be for my exit on that. Right? So Denise, I hope that was helpful. Paul is asking for Matt, M-A-T. Do you know Matt? Mattel. All right. Mattel is on our cover call watch list. For this week, Cover Call Explorer. Let's see. Getting back above the 8, Paula, and I like it. I like it a lot. I mean, we've been up here at this 23.25, so I think $23 is a doable target again from where it is. Right? So absolutely. It's a $20 stock. We're not looking for massive gains, at least you should not be. Right? Twitter, Zuriel, how you doing? TWTR. So I was watching CNBC earlier, actually right before we started today, and I forget the firm that they were talking about is still buying 1 million shares even after what's happened with Twitter. I'm a little hard pressed to put the money into it with this kind of move, but I am not the speculative trader. If you want to take a bounce on this, a trade where you think this is going to bounce, and you're looking to let me just give it a shot and see what happens. I'm okay with that as long as it's purely risk capital. And it has to be just that, it's purely risk capital, right? But at this point, I may be looking for a Fibonacci 4-step, meaning get down below this 764 a little bit, come up and bounce, retest, and move up to this purple line, which is the 618. But other than that, Twitter just announced the earnings, so I would step back a little bit, give it a day or two to settle out. I'm not, unless you're day trading it in and out, I'm okay with that. But I'm not a big fan of trying to chase after this, whether it be up or down. Market makers just, can be messing around way too much with options pricing. So Zuriel, I hope that helped. Tom's asking for RCL. All right, so Tom, lower tops, bottoms are holding, whether it be here or here. We're holding either on the 89, 83 or 79 level. I mean, we're over and over again, we're at those levels, right? And these tops are coming down. So that's my only caution now with RCL. If you're looking at a bounce, the potential is there to still make it to the 91.5. I wouldn't be betting on anything higher. Doesn't mean it doesn't go higher. I would just be cautious of doing it because of those descending tops that are in there. Overstock. I need a bigger picture. All right, so they just had earnings come out a couple of days ago. The earnings ran them up and then pulled back. Ran up and pulled back, so let's go ahead and zoom in on it. It's got to come back to I love where the 8 is, Tom, right? 75.57. I love where the 8 is, but I need it to be back at that 75.57. That's the ideal setup for me. That would be an A. ABC, that would be an A trade. Best of the best is if I had the 8 and the fib line confluence and we took the bounce off there, because that 84 would be the first target and then 95 would be the next resistance. All right, so a little bit of caution there. AMAT. All right, they don't have earnings yet. May sometime. 12th it showed. Yeah, so we're close. My bad. Didn't think we were that close. So I like the overall pattern. The pullback is great to the 50. Oh, go figure. Tom, did you ever notice how stocks tend to move 2 fib lines and other people say there's no way it doesn't work? Works all the time, right? 1, 2, and we failed, right? So great setup off the 50. There's the upside down H pattern, and now we're getting the pullback. If I can get a close, I wouldn't mind seeing the close a little bit down, even lower than where it is, Tom, which would give the 8 a chance to move closer to the 133 level, and then a move above gives me a resistance at 138. Just be very cautious. Day trade only with earnings where it is. Earnings need to be beyond that yellow bar. That's what the yellow bar is. It's the earnings indicator. And then last one was CZR. All right. I love it, Tom. I love where the 8 is in relation to the moving average, but I really need to see a close above that 99 first, a retest and a bounce. 8, so 99. I don't need a fib in there. So life is good. We've got higher lows. We have higher highs. I'm liking it a lot. I just want to see. Oh, I didn't see the earnings. Yeah, I wouldn't do anything. It's too close. Day traded today or tomorrow, maybe in and out, but that's it. Just too close with earnings. Sure. Marius is asking, can I share my settings on the moving averages? Marius, you got them. It's 5, 8, 21, and 55, all exponential. Yeah, so the only one you were missing was the 55, but all of them are exponential. Anything above 55 goes to simple moving average, not exponential. XLE. Oh yeah, energy sector. That's a nice pullback. That's probably not a hiccup in there. Let's see. That was a strong pullback. So there's our fibs. We're sitting right at resistance, bumping our head on ugly, 50.81. This was Jim. Caution with the Jim. You know, I've got these other horizontal lines on here, which I can delete. Should have deleted them first. It would have been easier to do. All right, we'll leave it at that. So close above the 50.81. We need to split this level. Tight. It's a tight position. A little bit too tight for me. We need to add in a negative 136. A little bit too tight for my liking. Close above the 51. You got 52.5 as your next target. Robert S. is asking for a Tesla. All right. Earnings are long gone for Tesla. Wasn't good. Pushed up, failed off of here. 681, we hit it as a target today. If we get the close below the 681, Robert, we're looking at 619 as the next target. 2086. Yeah, we don't need to fib it. All right, Michael. So you had asked about Visa the other day, and it broke, but no entry. All right, that's good. That's good. Brenda's asking for QQQ. Between the 8 and 21, Brenda, do nothing with it until you get some clarity, which means get above that 342.23 level. Again, you can day trade it, but that above that 342.23. And the next resistance is 351.71. It's a nice little move, too. Micron, MU. Holy mackerel, you guys got a lot of comments in that I haven't even seen yet. Today was the day on Micron, Brenda. That was the day to take it. We closed where we did yesterday, Friday, pushed back up into the 87.44 with the 8 confluence, failed. That was the entry. At this point, you can wait for the close below the 85, retest 85 and drop, but now you're at a B trade, not a C trade. Not an A trade, rather. Mario said, using other indicators like pivot points. I do use pivot points. Yes, I do. For my day trades, yep, particularly some of my gap stuff that I look at, I do. Keith's asking for Cisco. No, Mike's asking for Cisco. Keith was EW. Cisco. All right. Sure. So there's our fib. Earnings are less than 30 days, 3 weeks away, so caution on Cisco. If I'm trading anything on Cisco, Mike, I'm looking for the bounce, close above the 8, and then the move up to about 53. Yeah, about 53. Hope that helps. EW. Keith asked for EW. So I had EW down as a channeling pattern. Let me undo the scrunch. So you can see, actually, let's do it here. Here's the channel. Beautiful. Oh, very nice. And then we started hugging the top. We broke above, we hit this next line, which is not part of the standard channel. We came back in to this line twice, failed, came to this line, back to the top again, back here again, head fake here, kitty, kitty. We pushed up, little fail, so we went back here again, and then we blew right through that line all the way up to this next line here. So I'm a big fan of the channeling. So one of the things inside of Trading You guys is I have an entire video dedicated to this system, which is called channeling options. And it's the video that I used back in let me rephrase that. It's the system that I used back in 1997 to get myself into trading full time, was with this strategy right here. It's not channeling, low price options or low price stocks rather. This is a $94 stock. I'm not looking at these low price stocks. On this, what you're looking for, Keith, is this. Give me the pullback. Well, actually, if we make it back up to 98.33, you got the downward trade with 92.5 and 87 as your targets, right? If I'm trying to take the trade bullish, get above the 98.33 is great. If you wait for the 92.61, you might get a bounce. Black lines, the 1.5s, the half, the minus half, are not as strong for a bounce. The targets for exits, they are not per se places to take the entries. At least I don't in my system. So I would either want it to get above that 98.33 or come back to the 86.89 and bounce from there. So Brad, Trade Watch Alerts does not include Trading You. So when you go Brad, when you go to your account, and for all of you that are brand new, when you go to your account right here, you're going to have premium lifetime subscriptions and premium subscriptions, which is anything that's not a lifetime. If you're in Monster Market Movers, it's a 1 month, or if you're in Trade Watch Alerts, it's month by month or annual, depending on how you took it, right? You will see access to every one of the services that you have are going to be right here, right? Including anything that you've taken free classes or registered, you're going to be up here in the top, right? And at the very bottom here, you've got all the free memberships that are included with just registering with Wealth Builders HQ. So if you need help with that, Brad, send an email to the link that Amy dropped in, support, and they will get you whatever you need to get it figured out. Yeah, so for Reese, all I look at here is, unless you told me something different, I'm only looking at the daily chart. If there's something specific I'm going to look at, drop it in. If we have the time, I certainly will. But I also don't use a 25-minute chart. Marius is saying MP. Oh, that's not the right program. Just yuck. I look at this and I get agita. Right? If you don't know what that is, it's my stomach kind of bothers me. It just doesn't feel right. Don't like the position at all. Don't like the candidate. It's a fairly new company. It looks like it started back in June, so less than a year. We had a great run, and it looks like it's the typical of what some of these companies have done lately is, all of this false run up through COVID, and now it's reality time for some of those companies that came public. You don't have a lot of clear signals on here. I would look for the gap fill at 23.01-ish, $23, we'll call it, is where I look for a downside target. So the orange and vertical lines, Paul, that are on the screen, they're on this template here. The orange one doesn't pertain to anywhere outside of one program that I teach called Power Option Plays. We use that to help us determine from the last video, so we could see the movement that's taken place from there. The yellow line says I want earnings to be beyond that, to the right of it, for me to take a directional trade on that stock. Amos is asking for win. All right, so we got earnings coming up there. Be careful there, Amos, but it looks like 133 is resistance. I like where it is. I mean, I would have taken that bounce today, right, for a day trade. I mean, I like it. Tom, you placed a lot of trades today and you did fairly well. What do you accredit that to? Would you say was your best bang for your buck of what you've done to learn this? CZR, Paul, would just be a directional trade. So Denise is asking, can I explain the significance of the H? Sure. Let me get you as big a zoom as I can on this. And let me get rid of my drawing tools. And let me go get a pen. So if you look at an H, the letter H looks like this, right? That's a typical H. Well, this is an upside down H. We get this move up. We get this pull back. And normally this two-line move right there. If it were the opposite direction, it would not look like this. It would look like this. Ish, right? Just like, you know, and it could be like this. You know, it's not like this has to be that long or anything. It's just a matter of where it bounces off of the 50 or the 618 and moves normally 2 lines plus a little bit. I call it all the time. It's 2.5 line move. And then it collapses because each one of these is a standard deviation. You have a 2 standard deviation move off of this line, which gives us, what is it? I forget. It's either 93 or 90. I think it's 96 point something % of all the data points are within those 2 standard deviation moves, right? So that is a trade setup that we use very heavily in our trades. So Denise, I hope that helps. All right, so Jim said, where do you find how many companies have reported earnings already? You said about 40%. I heard it on CNBC. So Paul, to make it easy, I only talk about directional trades if, unless I say differently, when I said this would be a spread or a diagonal or a covered call, it would only be a directional trade. And that would be day or swing just based on your risk profile. Jim said, XLE, thanks, took the notes. Also, I had drawn the fibs lines incorrectly. I see where I made my mistake. All right, beautiful. There you go. Yeah, Qs now have 3 expirations a week. That should be fun. Exactly, Joan. Brenda, that means you should be able to make about $40 million a week at this point with the way you trade, with 3 expirations on it. Mike, you're welcome. Gary's asking for mRNA. Let's go to template number 2. Nah. Pull back to the 177.66. The 8 is sitting there. If we can get a close near that 177.66 and a bounce, we're looking at about 192.5. Well, 192.77 is resistance. So down below there, maybe 191.5-ish is where I'd be looking at my exit. Very nice, actually. Very nice. Wow. I need to write that one down for today. mRNA. Thank you for that. That was worth my whole time here today. Could I show my fibs on MU? Yeah, sure. You got it, Amos. Nope, sorry. Best I could do for Zoom is there. So 74.33, the 91.41. It started out, the fib started out, Amos, on the low of January 27th of this year and went up to the high of February 19th. Great pullback in there. So well deserved to not go up to that next high. So Mary said, is there a new setup V top and V bottom on the graph for a fib when you're redrawing or still using the old one? For which symbol, Mary? Sorry, I don't know what we were looking at when you typed it. Oh, good. Well, I'm glad to hear that, Tom. So I'd asked Tom, where would he accredit it to? Tom's in our mastermind group. And I recently put together a program called 28 Days to Mastering the Mastermind. Tom took it, as everybody else in there should have. And has taken it in our mastermind group, or at least most of it. And Tom said that's what he accredits his successes to. Tom's had some phenomenal ones, guys. I see him in the Facebook page. here. I mean, Tom's doing just wonderful. And of course, in Mastermind. Good. Glad to hear it, Tom. Thanks for sharing that. You got it, Jim. Yep, CNBC is where I caught it today. Yes, John. We have Wealth Builders HQ is me. The charting program you're talking about is somebody else. That's not me. This is what this Trade Navigator platform right here, which is changing for us, guys. I'm just going to lay it out there right now. You guys need to know this platform is changing. And I don't mean we're switching to a different platform. I mean, I'm making it better. I'm making it better. All right. There's a whole bunch of bonus stuff getting put in. Obviously, price goes up when that happens. Not for you guys. You already have it. You'll automatically roll forward to it. Tom, you're very welcome. So whenever you, okay, so Marius, when you draw a fib, you start from wherever the new V bottom and the new V top are. We don't normally just make the top higher, right? Because we're looking for directional moves. So I've got a V bottom here and a V top, right? This has not done anything, but now if we get a higher V top and a fail, I wouldn't just move the tops up there. I would redraw the entire fib in there. All right, so guys, here I want to share this with you. All right. Actually, you know what? Let me see if I can open this up. Maria, sure, you're quite welcome. As you see, I don't have a problem answering any of the questions, guys. I'll do whatever it takes. All right. Okay. Tonight is a training called Mastering the Trade. It is part of the Power Options Plays program. If you're a member of Power Option Plays, you're automatically going to be registered in there this evening for class. Now, Power Option Plays, this year we're up $427,206. That is on, I made this smaller so I could get it all on one page to see numbers. But that is on 100, it says 142. There's a couple of header lines in there that separates months. So that's on about 135 trades or so that were done this year, right? You can see all the ones that go against us, ones that win, right? We don't win on all trades. We just don't. It's just not what we do, right? I'm not that good to win on everything. Actually, we started the year off with the very first 3 trades went against us. 2 winners and then another loser, right? All right. Awesome, Michael. So here's the thing. Along with Power Option Plays, guys, comes this training that's coming up tonight. Here's the thing I want you to be cognizant of. I want you to know. There's the cost of Power Option Plays, but there is a 2-week trial. The best opportunity you have to see how things work is to get in tonight where you get to ask all the questions. The training this evening is meant, it's for people in Power Options Plays. It's meant to ask questions. It's the training that I do the least work for because I answer all of your questions that you have of why did you do this and why did you do that and what about this? What if we drew the fibs here? Should we have gotten out of the trade at this point? Was this a good place to get in? Did I draw fibs on this stock right? It's all about that. But you have a 2-week trial. And that trial includes Mastering the Trade, which is tonight. The next Mastering the Trade is about 6 weeks from now. We do it every 6 weeks. So if you decide that you want to get into Power Option Plays, if for nothing else, you say, I'm going to register and I'm going to cancel afterwards. Go for it. You won't. I promise you, when you stick around for 2 weeks and you learn this, you won't. You won't. But if you want to, that's okay. We'll still be friends. But if you really want to learn how I do things in Power Option Plays, tonight's training is the place to do it. And you have full access to everything that's in the back end. All the trainings that I've done, hours and hours, Rob's Secret Sauce, Pop 5K, all of those major trainings that we've done, are locked up in the back there, right? You can take advantage of all of it over the course of the 2 weeks. Tom said, I find that Pop is very useful, was in it for a very long time and learned a lot of the foundations of my options trading. There you go. There you go. So, Amy dropped a link in the, yep, I see it. She dropped a link in there. So guys, by all means, click on the link, check it out. If it works for you, great. If it doesn't, that's okay. But I would be remiss if I didn't tell you that tonight is the training. So at this point, I did my thing. Now it's up to you. And again, you're not paying anything today. You're registering. That's all it is. 2 weeks for free. We're not charging you credit card, anything, right? And we are not one of those companies that plays games. You say, I'm not interested anymore, you're done. You're done. I have this. Wealth Builders HQ going since 2017. We have had one dispute, one major dispute for us, and it wasn't major, it was a big dispute. We won. And I still offered the guy all of his money back in other products that I didn't want his money. We were right. He didn't deserve his money back. Guys, we don't fight people on that. If you want to cancel your subscription, we're not playing games with it. Take my word for it, don't take my word for it. But 2-week trial, come in there, check it out, see what it's all about, and go from there. All right. So sorry, I'm not going to say your name properly, so I'm just going to apologize now. But it's Evney, maybe. I apologize if it's not. Will the 2-week trial be for the monthly plan? No, that is only on the quarterly. There is not. Good question. I should have said that. But the thing is, I'd only put up here the quarterly. So we do not have the monthly does not have a trial. Amy said it works. It works. Period. It's a phenomenal product. I appreciate that, Amos. You're welcome, Evgeny. You're very welcome. Excellent. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're good. Looks like we only had 3 people leave from here. Didn't get a chance to look what was on the YouTube. I hope you guys had, and on Facebook. I hope you guys had a great training today. Was it helpful? Did you get some stuff out of it? Give me a 1 for yes, a 2 for no. And if you didn't, that's okay. I'd like to know what you didn't get out of it. What could I do better the next time? Guys, for those of you that have been around me, you've heard me say this before. For those of you that are newer, I am told over and over again, I have one of my friends that's a trader. He has his own trading company. He's like, you're nuts, man. I hate people like you. I said, why? He goes, because you're giving away your best stuff for free. I get it. Guys, this is my give back. We have so many of you that are subscribed to our tools. This is my give back. If this can help some of you, move you to the next level, awesome. We're going to continue to do it. Thank you, Brenda said happy trading for everybody. Heck yeah, coach, as always. God bless you. See you soon. You got it, Tom. All right, everybody. I'm going to leave the room open for a couple of minutes. Amy dropped a few links in there. Grab those links. Send an email to support if you need to. Go ahead and check out the pop and everything else that she dropped in, and I will see all of you at our next update. Take care, folks. See you soon.